Hello and welcome to a midweek video. So yes, that's right, we've got a midweek video for you guys, and today's focus is going to be a review on the new Kickstarter by Turner Miniatures, Battleground 1940. Now, as the title suggests, it focuses on the early war period of the Second World War in Europe. This particular Kickstarter is going to focus on STL files, so you're going to have access to a printer or wait for the commercial licenses to be released where you can purchase these miniatures printed. I don't have a printer, so Henry sent these out for me, so thank you for that, Henry. I really do appreciate it. But within this Battleground 1940, you're going to be getting access to the British Expeditionary Forces, and you're going to have a whole range of those featuring all different types of miniatures. And then you're also going to have access to the German Wehrmacht, which is going to obviously also have a variety of different miniatures. Now, there is tons and tons of different things you can unlock on this Kickstarter, as well as add-ons, etc. And they don't just focus on infantry, but they've also got French that are going to be part of this Kickstarter, and potentially, depending on how the Kickstarter goes, you're going to be able to unlock some Belgians as well. So let's have a look at what was sent. So he sent me a huge lot of British Expeditionary Forces, as well as a few Germans to touch on, as you can see in the bag below. Now, these are printed at 15mm, but you can go down all the way to 6mm, and all that information is on the Kickstarter. So it's a huge bag. Within this bag, you've got a variety of infantry with Lee Enfields, Thompsons, as well as your officers, Bren gunners, artillerymen, radiomen, anti-tank. You know, the list goes on. So I've selected out just a few samples because we'll be here all day, and I've really reduced the lighting to try and get some really clear shots of what you're going to be printing off. Now, Henry's printer is fantastic because there was absolutely zero cleanup in most of the models that I picked out, and you couldn't really see anything that was left from the print. I don't have a printer, as I said, so I'm no guru, so this might be normal, but I don't think it is. So as you can see with the first few that I've picked up here, this guy's an officer with a pistol. The poses are a little bit robotic, but with that said, there is definitely a theme that I picked up when I was looking at these, and that is the way that they've been designed. So you can see that they've been designed with printing in mind, so they're going to be a lot easier to print because there's very few recesses that you need to worry about. So there's very minimal amount of creases in sleeves and in equipment, etc. So you can see this guy's an artilleryman carrying some ammunition. With that, it's going to make painting very, very easy indeed. So if you're a war gamer and the painting is a bit more of a chore for you, then these miniatures are absolutely right for you. Obviously, early war focus on other companies is not really priority with a lot of companies out there. Battlefront, for example, don't really offer any early war stuff, and we know that they're going to touch on it in the future. But if you want something in the meantime, something that's really going to, wet your whistle in the early war sort of period, then these are really, really good. The equipment on there is pretty samey. They've got the backpacks and all the equipment you'd expect the British Expeditionary Forces to have. I'll be able to start saying BEF. But, like the backpack with the rolled up tarp or sleeping bag on the backs of most of them probably didn't need to be there. The backpack would have just been sufficient. As well as when they're in combat, I can only assume that they would ditch the bags as well, because it's something they wouldn't want to lug around. And obviously with the retreat through France, off to the evacuation of Dunkirk, these guys probably wouldn't have had much equipment anyway. And also, I really do love the choice of weaponry. I love the Thompson with the drum magazine. I know I've gone off topic a little bit here, but it just really looks nice. I love the fact that there's a variety of different people throwing grenades. There's a whole variety of poses. So you've got prone, you've got kneeling, you've got standing. They're all doing different things: shooting, reloading, running, walking, saluting. You name it, he's touched on it. That is a big, big thumbs up from me. I love variety in my poses, and I really dislike when companies only make like 6 riflemen, for example, and then you get a million of them at this scale, all looking and doing the exact same things. Yeah, really, really nice. In terms of painting, they painted up really well. The detail, as I said, you know, it's lacking in terms of recesses and really hardcore detail. That's not a bad thing at 50mm, especially if you're going to go down to 6mm. Their faces and hands look a little bit out of proportion, but again, at this scale, it's something you're not going to be too concerned about. You can see there's plenty of detail in this radioman's backpack. So yeah, the weapons I found really well done. I thought they had really good detail in them. The bags have detail, they're just very sharp, so they don't seem like they've been worn, or they've just got, you know, a rectangle inside of it. But you know, again, this scale, you can sort of let that go. We've got a guy firing a little mortar there, and then we've got an officer with his arms crossed in that sort of angry pose. The faces are all very similar, very aggressive looking, but they paint up nicely. You're really going to struggle with a wash. We move on to the Germans now. You're really going to struggle with a wash with a lot of these, purely because of the lack of recesses and that. I used a wash, and I still used it to pretty good effect, as we'll see in a little while. So you can do it, but this might be a bit more of a base coat layer. Just forget the wash. But you can see these Germans have got quite a bit of equipment on them. I really like these Germans. I think they look pretty cool. This guy's saluting, so that's awesome. You can see they've got the bread bag, they've got their gas canister, a water bottle, everything else. We've got a nice guy throwing a nade here. Again, looks a little bit robotic, looks like he's sort of doing a salute, a German salute, I won't say his word, as well as throwing a grenade. It is the correct sort of pose for lobbing a grenade, just seems a bit straight for my liking. Then you can see he's got a bit of a close-up of the face. So overall, I think they're actually really, really cool. They remind me of something I just can't put my finger on, like a game I used to play. The look to them isn't... They've got just a look to them. I can't put my finger on it. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, please let me know below. But these Germans, yeah, they look really, really nice. You can see we've got a guy crouched down with a rifle. You can see the detail in that rifle as well. So that's a really good choice. You can see that Henry's really focused on adding detail into specific areas where the eye is going to be drawn to, which is a really smart thing to do. That's how I like to paint as well. So if you can pick an area that you think the eye is going to be drawn to and focus detail on that, then you can get away with doing other stuff. He also has bases. They're very, very similar to sort of Flames of War bases that you would see if you're going to be going at 15mm. Then these are absolutely perfect for Flames of War. I decided to ditch those bases and just go with a Flames of War base for my two test models, and you can see they actually paint up pretty nicely actually, and they look really, really cool. I wouldn't be afraid to use these, honestly. I'm really tempted to sort of get a force of these painted up, specifically the French that they've got on offer, because they look absolutely fantastic. So overall, really nice. The cost of these is really low, so the core STLs are $59, the blender files are $85, and then all the STLs and all the blender files, you can see the price on the screen then. Then you've got the add-ons, you've got artillery, the vehicle and crew STLs, artillery STLs and blender files, and vehicle crew STLs and blender files. So you can really get a lot for your money, not to mention all the other rewards that can potentially be unlocked. So what I want to know is, how do you rate these miniatures from what you've seen here? I know it's pretty hard to see with the lighting, etc., but let me know below if you've enjoyed seeing these, and if you're going to be partaking in the Kickstarter. All of the details of the Kickstarter will be in the video description, as well as links to where you can find them on the Kickstarter page. Henry is superb at giving you details, and you can see this is a huge Kickstarter. A lot of love and time and effort has gone into this. So if you've got a bit of spare money and you really want to get into the early war period, please go over, give Henry some love, and let's start unlocking some of those extra rewards that can come out, and get some more of those French for me to paint up in the future. Now, if you want to know how I've painted the English BAF miniatures that we saw at the start and towards the end of the video, let's say if this video gets 50 likes, then we will do a painting tutorial on how I painted these Battleground 1940 miniatures. As you can see, as I'm scrolling through, there is so much to unlock. We've got the Polish as well as the Fallschirmjäger, the Belgians. I mean, that is so unique. It'll be amazing if we can get to unlocking those. But yeah, definitely go over, check out Battleground 1940, check out everything else on there, how to paint them, etc., etc., as you can see in the video now. I'm going to leave it here, guys. Thank you again to Henry for sending me out these miniatures. I really do hope I can put some more of them on the YouTube and in social media for you guys to enjoy later on. Other than that, guys, I'm going to leave it here as I've just said, and I will catch you at the next one.